From the Podcast Detroit studios and Zoom everywhere else, The Making of Champions. Professional boxers inspiring amateur athletes to become champions. Presented by Joe Louis, champion of them all, Bourbon, and Bigger Than Life Entertainment. In association with USA Boxing, Golden Gloves of America, the producers of MAC Boxing, Making a Champion series, and BigFightWeekend.com. Join your hosts, Tanya Cole and Marquise Johns, with special guests from around the world of amateur and pro boxing, celebrating the legacy of Joe Louis.
Tonight's a huge night tonight for us. We're picking 5 winners for Tulsa Night of the Fights. But before we do that, let me introduce to you who we've got tonight. I've got Marquise Johns with Big Fight Weekend. And Marquise, who do we have tonight?
Absolutely, Tanya. Thanks for having me on today, as always. And tonight we are joined by a huge guest, a guest who's actually going to be in action on August 22nd, back in the bubble for the 3rd time on ESPN Plus, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I am joined by 8-2-3 with 3 knockouts, but you can throw the record out the window when he's in action. We're talking with today Cassius Clay Collard. Clay, how you doing this afternoon, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
First things first, man. I want to take you back actually to your last fight against Lamont Nelson, who you actually got rid of in very quick fashion in 2 rounds.
Straight right hand again.
Collard just has to get that right shot in there. Nelson is overwhelmed right now.
Second knockdown of this second round. Another right hand reins in. Backs him up. Body shot with the left hand. 1-2, and that is it. TKO win for Cassius Clay Collard. He is now 4-0.
Describe for those who have not seen you in action your style of fighting, because it's very fan-friendly and it's very to the point.
Yeah, man. If I had to use one word, I would say tenacious.
Find out in these next few rounds. Big shots again because he's not throwing again. Guajardo. Yep, he's picking his punches well, and it doesn't look good. In with his back on the ropes, Collard teeing off on him. The referee looks like he's gonna jump in. Collard jumps right on him. He is unloading a barrage of power punches. Guajardo is out.
That's it. That's it.
That is it of the year, as Clay Collard has shocked the world by upsetting the prospect and Ray Guajardo.
I'm a very tenacious, aggressive fighter, I guess.
Absolutely. And the reason I mentioned that, and I pressed that off the top, because you, sir, are currently, and without a doubt, a lot of folks at some point with the pandemic and everything going on are losing memory of fight rounds of the year. Your fight round against Guajardo back in February down in Biloxi on the PBC card is without a question one of the craziest rounds I've ever seen in a long time. Without a doubt, one of the front runners. Just walk me back to that fight first before your bubble shows. Just how all of that gotten around, because that fight on my end, for the most part, has gotten you to the title that everyone's been talking to you about as being the prospect killer.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that was my second undefeated guy of the year. He's 5-0, 6-0, something like that. And there was never a doubt in my mind that I was going to win that fight. That's why we took the fight in the first place, you know. So I was a little surprised at how aggressive he came out. I didn't expect that. I thought he would try to box me a little more and stick and move a little more, but I mean, it played off to my benefit. So yeah, just a crazy round. I shouldn't have let him catch me. I got a little too excited and went rushing in there. So you know, that was just an error on my behalf, but it was a great fight and a great round, and you know, it got a lot of publicity for me. So
absolutely. And speaking with that, because from there, they pretty much got you set up during the summer with these top rank shows. The one before Lamont Nelson was the one against David Kaminsky in the bubble, which you edged out a decision. The scorecards were kind of wonky because they were just Vegas scorecards. But you pretty much had that fight pretty handedly. One thing that I noticed about that fight more than anything else is that he was, for some reason or another, he was not able to hit you back. Can you walk me through that fight just in general, how he was able to prepare for that?
I mean, in preparation, it's just the same. I just work hard and you know, listen to my coach and try to implement my game plan with him. You know, we just wanted to beat him up, really. You know, we were going to outlast him, and we were going to wheel the win. What was you know, the motto for that fight. Like, so I just got in his face and stayed in his face, you know, and landed my shots and just there's been a lot of people talking crap about my defense, but I think it's a lot better than people give me credit for. You know, I'm landing good, stiff, hard shots, and I'm not getting, everything's grazing or clean right on the chin. So up, man. Yeah, we just are getting away from, you know, everyday training, you know, kind of living a little bit. So we're out here. There's like, we're going down into an underground cave or something like that. This is my coach's idea. So just kind of getting away from the everyday regiment and trying to live a little. So
is it you and your coaching staff, or is it you and family, or?
Yeah, so my coach is family to me. So
there you go.
We do everything together. So yeah, and then I got my little brother out here as well, and he's actually started training with us. We're hopefully gonna get him a fight here pretty soon. It'll probably be his first pro fight. So.
Oh, nice.
How did your coach guide you into boxing? I know that you've been in the MMA world for many years. What provoked you to kind of move over into boxing? I understand your coach had a little bit of hand in that.
Yeah. So first off, it was getting tough to get the right fights in MMA. They either wanted me to fight somebody with a big record and a big name and not pay me nothing, or, you know, just fight a Joe Schmo and not really pay me nothing. So we went over to boxing for two reasons. The first reason was it was getting hard to get a good fight in MMA. And then my coach said that I needed to work on my boxing skills and work on my hands. So we actually initially did it to just better my all-around MMA game and just get better hands. So. Okay.
And I understand there's like this maybe third reason. It kind of ties into reason one about the no money deal. What about you in the car?
Yeah, so that was the very first boxing match, and I actually took that one. I wrecked my car back in like 2017, I think, and you know, I didn't have. I was working at a car wash, I think. Yeah, I was working at a car wash, not making really no money. I was just trying to fight, so I was, you know, just working there to give me a little money just to keep going, you know. And I wrecked my car, and I was trying to get it fixed. So I actually took the boxing match before I was full time with my coach, and that was when I actually asked him to help me get ready for it. So I reached out to him, and I had 8 or 9 days to get ready for this fight. And coach looked the guy up and was like, "Bro, what are you doing? You know, like, this guy's big in the amateurs. I think he was on the, I think he boxed for the Marines. Had like 200 plus wins and only a few losses. And
wow.
It was his pro debut and my pro debut boxing, and I actually got food poisoning the day before the fight. I was eating, trying to make weight because I was fighting up a weight, and I was just pigging out. And I ate a bad chicken burrito or something, man, and throwing up. On the way to weigh-ins, I was driving the weigh-ins, and I had to pull over, get off an exit, pull over, because I was starting to sweat, and like I felt like I was going to throw up. So I pulled over and was throwing up, made it to weigh-ins. I came in underweight, and I still somehow squeaked by a split decision. So I caught him in the first round and hurt him. I think I caught him with the left hook and hurt him, and then lost the next 2 rounds for sure. And my coach just got on me and was like, man, you got 2 rounds to win this fight. Go out and win the fight. And I just I gave it everything I had, man. After that fight, I was purple. Lips were purple. Couldn't breathe. But we got the win, and that's what mattered. So yeah. I think I made $300 to $500 is all.
Uh-huh.
And I asked for a few tickets. The promoter wouldn't even give me a couple tickets from my family.
Man.
He made me buy them out of my purse. So yeah.
Jeez.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that sounds like
how that happened, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty raw deal. But you know, Marquise, what we're doing is that we're giving away some good deals to 5 winners, right?
Absolutely.
So tell us what's going on in like 3 days. I mean, we heard about Clay's fight that he had to get ready for in a few days. But tell us about the fight that's coming up in about, I guess, 3 or 4 days coming up this weekend, and what these winners are going to get.
Yeah, it's not yet. Yeah, Clay's fight's coming up on the 22nd, but this weekend in Tulsa downtown, no audience, no crowd members, just roped off from everybody. Cecilia Brækhus is going after our Miss Joe Lewis's consecutive defense title streak against Jessica McCaskill on the Zone Saturday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. We are giving away 5 winners. If those who signed up, and if you haven't signed up, you need to next time go around. JoeLewisSpirits.com is where you can register to win this contest. And we're giving away 5 winners to a free month of the Zone. That way you'll catch his fight, our previous guest fight, Lamont Roach Jr. is on August 28th, as he may be bumped into the co-headliner because the main event got COVID. So he can't fly over. And that's what we're giving away today on the show.
Okay. All right, so we'll find out who the 5 winners are in just 1 minute.
Our guest, Clay Collard, I want to speak to him about his next fight, which is taking place on the 22nd against Maurice Williams. Clay, this will be your 3rd appearance at the Bubble in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Convention Center in Las Vegas. This is your 3rd time doing this process. Walk everyone into those who have not understand the process of you going through the bubble, the testing, how's the food, how's the process going on for these fights leading up to it?
Well, most people fly out. Me and my coach are driving. We just don't want a chance catching the virus or anything like that. You know? So we're going to drive straight out to Las Vegas. We get there, and you have to test immediately right when we get in. So we'll be tested for the virus, and then you self-isolate in your hotel room. Can't leave your hotel room until your test results come back negative. After that, you're free to walk around the bubble. All the food and stuff is taken care of for you down at the convention center. they shuttle you back and forth. They have security guards walk you everywhere. Yeah, so food's all right. It's not the best, not the worst. I'm going to be, dropping a little weight anyway. So, yeah. And then you get a set time to go work out the couple days you're there before the fight, set time to cut weight, and then weigh-ins, and then it's go time. So.
Okay. No, sounds like they pretty much keep you isolated from everyone at the casino there, actually. Just in general, because I know this fight's coming up in about 2 weeks. What do you know so far about Maurice Williams?
He's like 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
He's all right. I watched a couple videos of him. I don't really like to do a whole lot of film study because you never know what somebody's gonna come out and start throwing at you. So I just stick to my game plan. Work on what I'm working on, and yeah, I know that he better be ready because I'm ready. I'm getting ready to throw a beat down. So
yeah.
Yeah, I can tell that, some have described your fighting style as barbarian. And so we did a little bit of film study on you, and kind of referring back to that first video that Marquise shared with us. I mean, I saw those 3 jabs to the gut and then that duck. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about how MMA has prepared you in the boxing ring? I mean, because I know that there's got to be, some difference in styles in terms of fighting, but what strengths do you bring from MMA into boxing that has given you such success?
First off, I just think I'm a heck of a lot tougher than everybody. I do have a little less to worry about. I don't got to worry about getting kicked or head kicked or elbowed, so it is a little less stressful in that sense. But I mean, boxers are dangerous. So it's a good thing I boxed when I was younger, because most people couldn't have done what I've done, moving over from MMA to boxing and doing that. So, yeah, I got good clinch work. When people try to grab on me and stuff like that, that comes from MMA.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, my angles are goofy and weird, and a lot of the boxing analysts, they'll say I don't know how to box, but I don't think that's true. Yeah, I'm just a heck of a lot tougher, man. That's what I bring, bro. I'm just gonna outlast you.
I would gather to say that you are a heck of a lot tougher. And given that you are doing things that, as you would say, nobody could have ever done before, and given that everything that you've gone through, can you tell us a little bit about, since we're right now, you've alluded to the pandemic and kind of what's happening with that, can you tell us about your own story of homelessness, how you grew in strength from that situation to kind of where you are now? Because right now, people are looking at you as the 2020 Boxer of the Year. Can you tell us a little bit about that journey for you?
Yeah, for sure. It was during the time I was signed with the UFC. Just kind of my personal life was kind of went to shit. Pardon my language, but yeah, it just went to crap, man. And I mean, I had places to go. I could have moved back home, and I could have moved, and back in with the parents and got a job and tried to get on my feet that way. But I wanted to fight, man. This is my dream. This is what I want to do. So I chose to stay back and keep training at the gym, and I didn't have somewhere to stay, so I stayed in my van. That was mainly by choice. I always had somewhere I could go, but it just this is my dream. This is what I love doing. If you watch me fight, you'll understand. Like, I love fighting.
Yes.
I love it, everything about it. So, yeah, just my personal life wasn't going too well, and I wanted to fight, and I was trying to fight, and it eventually got too tough, and I had to take a break, and I did move back home, with mom and dad. So, after about 2 years there, I just had enough and had to get back to what I love doing, and that's fighting. So, I moved out and I got a motorhome, and I was staying in a motorhome, and that was until I met my coach. I actually moved a couple times, moved in with a friend of mine and got a job at a car wash, like I said, and was just trying to train the whole time, but it didn't really start changing until I met my coach now, and he was just willing to take me in and take me on as a fighter, and let's do this together, and that's what we've done. So it was just hard work, man. Hard work and dedication. I finally made up my mind. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to give it everything I have, and win, lose, or draw, And so, yeah, I've been putting in the work nonstop and listening to my coach and trusting my coach. And now I'm 2020 in running for 2020 Fighter of the Year. So, still, I mean, things never got easy, but we're still working hard. So,
well, it sounds like all that sacrificing has certainly paid off.
Starting to.
It is. It is. Now, outside of your love for boxing, what are your other loves in life?
Snowboarding, water skiing. Outdoors. That's why I'm living in Idaho, man. I love outdoors, camping, hiking, fishing, just being active and enjoying this beautiful earth God let us live on. So
yeah,
I hear you. I hear you. And how's Gambit?
My dog?
Yes.
Oh man, he's on a farm right now. I'm still trying to get into a house where I can bring him back. So he's doing great. Him and my coach's dog are actually they're on a farm with a friend of ours until we can make enough money to get into a nice house or buy me a nice house. So we're in a little apartment, 2-bedroom apartment with 3 grown men. So, we make it work, but
I gotcha. Yeah. You know what, Marquise? I think now is a good time to take another break. So more with Clay Collard when the Making of Champions on Joe Louis Bourbon and Podcast Detroit returns after this. Okay, we're back. Marquise, what do you want to talk about?
Absolutely. Why don't we go back to with Clay and talk about this upcoming fight, what taking place on August 22nd, which you all can see on the streaming service app ESPN Plus if you don't have it. If you don't have Disney Plus, you can just for $12.99 a month, you can get it in a bundle. You get ESPN with it. So I highly recommend it, highly suggest it. But with your fight, Clay, on the 22nd, you've been pretty active this year for 2020, considering everything going on in the world, pandemic-wise. This will be, if memory serves me well, your 5th fight this year. You have one on PBC. This will be your 3rd one so far on Top Rank. So this will be your 4th fight this year. Are you trying to have 1 or 2 more fights after this one in August?
All right. So, yeah, after this fight in August, I think we got 9 days, 10 days, something like that. A little less. I want to try to get one as soon as possible, so hopefully at the end of September. I want to get on a big show and fight a big name. I think the Gypsy King fight card would be pretty sick. I think I draw enough crowd to jump on that show, or the Lomachenko fight coming up. I want to try to jump on one of those cards and fight somebody tough. I like fighting tough guys, so
absolutely. Let me put you on the spot, Clay. If you had a choice right now, flipping a coin, does it matter which one you want to be on first, or just you just want to be back in action? If you had to
Man,
choose.
I would like to be on the Gypsy King fight.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite boxers. I don't know a whole lot of other boxers, but I love the Gypsy King and his story and everything about the guy, man. He's just awesome dude. So
Yeah.
I would prefer to fight on that Gypsy King card. So.
Understand. Yeah, and if there are those who don't know, for some reason, if you don't know who the Gypsy King is, he's referring to Tyson Fury, who is supposed to have a third fight with Deontay Wilder at some point, hopefully in Vegas this year, whenever things all pan out. I think the last I heard, and Clay, your guess is about as good as mine with that as well, man, because they keep those things under wraps. Supposedly in December, supposedly at Raider Stadium, supposedly with people. Your guess is as good as mine with that too. But that's what you're hearing for the most part.
Man, I haven't heard nothing about it other than it's happening sometime.
Yeah, that's about okay.
When it happens, I hope your boy Cassius is on the card. So.
Exactly. Actually, I did want to ask you about that too, man. How did you get the nickname Cassius Clay? Was it just because it was just catchy, or was it just off the top of someone?
No, so it used to be Blackout. It used to be a Clay Blackout collared, and I fought for a promotion.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, so that was because my first fight, I knocked the guy out in 12 seconds, and my boss at the time was like, man, you blacked that dude out. So he started calling me Blackout. But, yeah, the Cassius came. I was fighting for a promotion called Showdown, and the promoter of the show didn't like the nickname Blackout. And I used to kind of have a mouth on me when I was younger. You know, I like to talk crap during fights and stuff like that. So I was like, man, there's only one other nickname I'll take. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's Cassius because my name is Clay. And so that's just kind of how that happened.
Works. All right, Marquise, I'm going to take you back a little bit. So Lamont Roach, we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but he really liked to play the game Call of Duty. Now, yes. Clay, I think you've got a tattoo somewhere. Is it on that left shoulder?
There it is.
Mortal Kombat.
You see it?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Okay,
Mortal
good question.
Kombat.
I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a while, but who's your go-to character on there? So I used to be a big guy with Sub-Zero. That was my dude.
Go-to guy, dude.
Yeah.
Go-to guy, Raiden, man.
Raiden, okay.
Raiden. I can pretty much whoop anybody with any character on the game most of the time. But if I'm Raiden, you're not winning, probably not.
Oh man, that sounds like a challenge. I'm gonna take you up on that at some point sooner later down the line, man. Because Sub-Zero was just my dude on there. Especially on the Mortal Kombat 11. I haven't played the new one lately, but the 11 that was my dude. Oh man. So yeah, because Lamont plays Call of Duty. You play Mortal Kombat. Whatever. So you play all the just fighting games or just Mortal Kombat? What else you playing?
No, man, Apex Legends, man. I'm big on the Apex.
That's a good one too.
So, yeah.
See, because yours truly telling to go behind the curtain here. I'm a big fan of pretty much just the sports games and the fighting games. If it's Street Fighter 5, I used to run people on that one. I almost made the gaming circuit for that one. I was close. That one, Mortal Kombat, as you mentioned. Pretty much not this last year's Madden. I mean, they keep changing Madden all the time. It's kind of weird with the rules on that now. But back in the old days when Brett Favre was still quarterback, I used to run Madden like 12 and 11. Like I was on the.
I'm a Dolphins fan, so every time I pick my team, I get my butt kicked.
Oh man. It makes you feel any better, Clay. As a Lions fan, we made you play a draw, man. So we're up there. But
all right. And those famous words, Mortal Kombat. What do you like to hear from Sub-Zero? Do you hear anything from him, or what does he do?
Sub-Zero's the freeze guy, man.
He's the freeze guy.
He's the ice man, bro.
Yeah, he just shocks. He just freezes people. No, you're thinking maybe telling you a scorpion. Maybe we just get over here. That's that guy.
Yeah, I like that one too. Well, Clay, I know that you're there with.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm finishing this whole sleeve with Sub-Zero, so
yes,
just for you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, keep us posted. And I know we don't want to take any more time away from you and your coach and your family that's there. We thank you so much for joining us today. And sharing it with us today. We really appreciate. We're looking for you. We watching. We expect that blackout.
Yeah, it's coming. So
It's
I'm
coming.
I'm calling. He don't make it past 4 is what I'm calling. So.
Well, we know you. We know it. We know it.
I'll keep
He's
an
got
eye on
about,
it.
as you said before, about 2 rounds to take care of it and finish it. All right. So we hope that Bruce Kilty, Lashima Easley, Charles Ellington, Eddie Meeks, and Jamie Catlett joins us. And thank you for joining us on The Making of Champions and Podcast Detroit. Good night.